Hi guys, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming, and today we're taking a look at the casting of Frank Stone. The casting of Frank Stone is another game released by Supermassive. This one has the unique hook of being set in the world of Dead by Daylight. I have played Dead by Daylight before. I've done a video on it where I basically got owned in it for about 20 minutes, so if you want to watch that one, there it is for you. But yeah, it doesn't do as much as it could with that idea, but it does add an interesting little tilt to it that most of these games don't benefit from, because obviously with Dead by Daylight you have an immense amount of lore, as I found out when I went to investigate more about Frank Stone and see if he was actually put into the game, which turns out he wasn't, which is a shame, because it could have done well for the popularity of this game if he would be popular in that game. Outside of that, there's not a whole bunch of Dead by Daylight in this. Yes, you have the entity does make an appearance with his characteristic spider-leggy things that come up and kill people, so that's in it. And they basically wholesale steal the timing minigame for repairing generators, which you have to do several times during this game. So the casting of Frank Stone is basically centered around a film production which takes place in 1980 and captures the spirit of infamous murderer Frank Stone. The prologue is set even further back, I think in 1960.
Some kind of wiener, mate?
4, I want to say, maybe somewhere around there anyway, where you play a sort of rookie police officer who is investigating the disappearance of a baby, and he's gone to a steel mill where Frank Stone happens to work. And yeah, he manages to stop Frank Stone in time to save the baby, although he may not, depending on your choices, but canonically he does. And then it goes forward to the 80s, where you take the various roles of film students.
Came from someone much older.
Well, I say film students. I think maybe one of them was a film student, and the others are just like enthusiastic filmmakers, shall we say. So you control them. They obviously want to film, and they find out about the Frank Stone thing, so they want to shoot at the mill, and they capture his evil essence on the camera. The film is cursed, and the one time it is shown, it causes a riot. So hooray! And then it switches even further forward into 2024, where you're playing a group of collectors that have been called to get to this mansion to bring their pieces of film from the movie that the previous character shot. One of those characters does reappear. Interesting enough, she's voiced by Lucy Griffiths. She was somewhat notable actress. She was in the 2006 Robin Hood as Maid Marian in the BBC version, and she was also in Preacher, season 1, stuff like that. I think she was in one of the teeny vampire shows as well. But yeah, I know, I was aware of her, but like I looked her up because the character model, the older character model of the character Linda, who was also one of the filmmakers, looks exactly like Jodie from Supernatural. And I was convinced it was the same actress. It is not. But damn, she should get on the phone to her lawyer, because it looks exactly like her. So you're going around this mansion with these characters who all come across their films in different ways. I'm not going to go into too much outside of that. Yes, there is horrible, gory deaths for missteps, which is always good. And it's your basic Supermassive game type format, and you walk or jog around looking at things, picking up bits of information before you get to a point which is clearly designated as the moving on point, and you progress the story. There are QTEs. As I said, they do wholesale nick the repair mechanic for generators from Dead by Daylight, but I mean, you can't really blame them. They want to tie it more closely to that. And it turns out that, oh no, there's a character that wants to recreate a ritual and basically give this Terra World. Hey, see, like I did some research. To the entity in order to make it its plaything. And the characters you play are going to be the ones it torments, and obviously Frank Stone will be the new killer. So,
All right.
it is a good game. It's
Use the radio in my
shorter
car
than
and
some
call
of
the
the
station.
Supermassive games I've played. It certainly doesn't
Where
overstay
you
its
going?
welcome, but it moves pretty
really think that
quickly,
boy's
to be
down there?
honest. I think that's helped by the fact it does
I got a feeling.
keep dipping between the
It's not
two
a good
time periods. So instead of having downtime, you just
Look, I
go
need
to
you
like
to
the
take
other
this
time
too.
period and do something sort of significant there. So
Make
it
sure
does,
the
because
sheriff
it
gets
separates them but still interweaves them. It doesn't feel like
Wow.
either one's too packed, but the game itself moves along at a
Sure,
brisk
need a
rate
little
because of it.
pick me up right about now.
But I certainly, when I got to the end, I was kind of like, okay, that was about the right time for this to be done. Although it does have a very, I think it's the cutting room they call it,
Really want to be
where you can
remembered
go
as an
back
old
and
drunk
view
who
like
could've
the
done
web
something when
of
he had a
decisions that permeate the game, and it is big.
That ain't
It's
you.
quite impressive to see it all laid out
Don't
like
let
that.
that be you.
And you can go back. It will also show you any collectibles you've missed
I,
in any
step
of
up.
the particular routes you've explored,
Get your head
because
straight.
you will find little Cupid doll versions of the killers from Dead by
All right.
Daylight. There's a sort of trinket box
Yes,
of
sir.
little metal miniatures. I'm not sure what pertinence it has to Dead by Daylight. I'm sure there must be one or the other. It's probably like something on the Blood Web or something like that. But to me, they just look like sort of Monopoly pieces, really, that sort of thing. But you know, quite often there is a toolbox lying around, and you open up and you see the ones you've collected. I didn't really understand that. So if it bears some significance to Dead by Daylight, then let me know. But yeah, I mean, the box is in like every level for you to look and see which ones you've got and which ones you don't have. But it doesn't make any sense to me in the context of the game, so I'm hoping it does in the context of the universe. And obviously there's other collectibles as well. I did, on my first playthrough, I did get all the ones about Frank Stone, which is under the champion thing, but there's other stuff as well, which I did miss some of.
Damn it.
I'm not sure if I'll go back and check out the other branches. I mean, once the story gets going, and there's a significant amount I haven't told you, specifically because it would ruin the game, and some of the bigger shocks in the game. But you can understand that sort of when those elements of the game get going, then it really does create the opportunity to do things differently, shall we say. I did enjoy it. I normally enjoy all Supermassive games. I think the one I liked least was the second one that they did in their trilogy. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. It's the one with the witchcraft and the sort of New England town. And while I was playing it, I thought it was okay. I got to the end and I thought, oh, this is almost the same ending as the first game. Man of Medan was the first one.
This place
So I didn't like that as much. I did like the one that preceded it with the whole vampire things, alien vampires even. That was pretty good. And I thought the Quarry was very well done as well. It almost feels like the ones it puts out outside of like their Dark Pictures anthology type thing is actually better. I don't know why. Because Dead by Dawn,
goddamn
not Dead by
small
Dawn,
species.
Until Dawn, Jesus Christ, my brain. The Casting of Frank Stone and The Quarry, I think, are all better games than any of the three in the anthology, which is kind of weird when that was like their big thing and these were just like side pieces. I mean, I understand because you've got like, I mean, it's using Unreal 5 and it looks great, right? You've got the technology, so I guess it's quite easy to port it to like having different actors, virtual actors, and different lines and all that. And it sort of slapping together a game is less about programming at that point and just using the tools that you've already programmed. So I get exactly why they do that. It just seems weird that these little sort of offshoot ones are generally better, in my opinion. I hope they continue making them. I do enjoy them. I'm on the fence about getting the Until Dawn remake. I mean, I was always one of the proponents saying this would be amazing on PC, getting this to run at 60 frames, because like if you've played Until Dawn on, what was it, PS4 I think, you know that frame rate was tanking it a lot on that. So it kind of does really make me want to get the remake and actually play it at an acceptable frame rate, which I'm sure it will, because I'm sure it's based on the same engine as this, and this ran just fine. I did have a few tweaks here and there just to get it run on my 3080, but not just to get it running acceptably over 60, shall we say, without many dips. So yeah, but for £60 the remake is overpriced, I will tell you that. If it was like 30, 40, maybe I could give it a wholehearted, like, yeah, I'll grab that up, definitely. But having said that, I have just bought the Red Dead Redemption remake. And it is, well, I say remake, it's not, it's basically a PC port. The graphics, obviously, I should probably save it, but the graphics are obviously better, and it runs at a better frame rate, but it's still recognisably the same sort of assets that have just been tinkered with a little bit. So it's really more of a port than anything else, and that was 40 quid. So I took the plunge on that one because of that, but it wasn't 60. So there you go. But the Casting of Frank Stone, I got it cheaper. It was on sale for Halloween on Steam, so I was like, right, okay, I'll grab that then. I think it was like 25-30 quid for me. I certainly got that much enjoyment out of it. If I'd bought it for full price, I wouldn't be too upset about it. I wouldn't have felt like I got tremendous value for money, but it would have been fine at that price point for me anyway. So that's my review of the Casting of Frank Stone. If you like Supermassive games and what they do, then it's a no-brainer. If you like Dead by Daylight, I wouldn't say it's a no-brainer if you like Dead by Daylight, because there'll be things that you recognise in it, probably things that you recognise that I didn't. But certainly I don't feel, if you're a Dead by Daylight player, you need to play this game, because they haven't brought in Frank Stone, they haven't brought in any of the survivors from it or anything like that. If they did, that might have been a more compelling reason to play this for you, but they didn't. So yeah, but it's not too old either. It came out in September, so I'm compared to some of the games I review, I'm pretty recent on this one. So there you go, the Casting of Frank Stone. I think it's pretty good. I enjoyed my time with it. It's just more of the same from Supermassive, and I'm generally okay with that. As long as they can keep coming out with different things to keep me interested, and not like do almost the same thing in two games running. I'm looking at you, game I can't remember the name of, with Will Poulter in it, that guy. Yes, that one. But that's all from me. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, by the way,
Sleep tight,
I am playing Valgard. I have a lot to say about it already. I will try and play more. I really don't want to. But you will be getting a review of that. I will tell you whether I managed to push my way through it or not when I do that review. But yeah, I have a lot to say about that. So look out for that one. Take it easy, guys, and I'll catch you next time.